W legends Jerry Lynn and Mikey Whipwreck. Now, let's welcome your host, Mike Freland.
Welcome to another Tuesday evening. I am Mike Freland. This is Front Row Material, and as always, I'm joined by my wonderful, bald-headed, bearded extra on Season 7 of Duck Dynasty. His name is...
The Ritt.
Ritster, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you.
Not bad. How you doing, Freeland?
I tell you what, I'm pretty damn good. I'm pretty good. I can't really complain.
Hey, no one wants to listen anyways, and people that do want to charge you $100 an hour to lay on the couch.
Oh my God! You know, I've gone to a psychiatrist before, and here's the problem I have with going to a psychiatrist. Right? I think it's fantastic to go. However, I went to a psychiatrist who was this was when I was single, so I can say the story. She was extremely attractive. So at that point in time, I was like, do I really say exactly what's going on in my head? Do I completely kill my chances of getting a date or something like that? Or do I open up to her and tell her my deep-seated problems, my histories with my mother and all these other kind of things? So I did what any good human being would do. I lied, I made it all up, and I pushed hard for that date. And well, I didn't make it, and I'm still suffering from issues from my mom. But live and learn, right? That's life.
Hey, you should have just went to take her out for a burger. You
never stop with that. You never stop with that, do you?
You cut that burger in half.
No, you don't cut it in half. You don't cut unless you have dainty hands. Do you have dainty hands?
I've got tiny hands.
Yeah, I bet you do. Well, I'm glad you do, because you know what? The person that is going to be joining us now does not have dainty hands. This individual's a monster. Could probably let's be honest. Let's be honest. If we took this individual out for a meal at a restaurant, I mean, it may be more expensive than my current student loan bill. I'm just saying.
Hey, first off, I'm surprised he came back a second time. Second,
see, here's the problem. When you say stuff like that, then stars don't want to come back because they're like, oh shit, what did I get myself into? He's probably right. My God. Thank you. Thank you.
Second,
talk us up.
Second, I'm still waiting on that little dinner. I was buying us burgers,
Well, we'll see what happens. That's it. That's just like hey, you know what? I'll call you. We'll set something up. Yeah. And then they don't call you to set it up. Well, I tell you what, here's the deal. We'll find out. We'll get the answer today. We'll get you your answer, okay?
Okay.
And maybe he can set me up with a good psychiatrist. Somebody who's, I don't want to use the word ugly, but just not that great, because I have a lot of issues. I do. I'm like the modern day George Costanza.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, let's stop talking. They're not here to give rat's ass about us. Let's be honest. No. Okay. I'm still sitting behind a Christmas lights. Okay. How ridiculous is that?
Pretty ridiculous.
Guys.
Freeland,
yes.
Who do we have on this tonight?
We have O'Shea Edwards joining us, huge star in the wrestling industry. I am geeking to find out everything that's going to be going on. Maybe get a little inside track on exactly all that's happening. Ring of Honor people are the hottest commodities out there right now. O'Shea's videos online are amazing. I want to talk to him about that, because no one cuts a better promo right now. I mean, we talk about so many people who create great promos. This guy creates amazing promos. So we're going to talk about that as well. Also find out where we can find the monster himself, if he's coming into your area as well, and all the details of everything in between. But right now, let's go ahead and bring him on in. O'Shea Edwards, welcome back to the program, my friend.
Oh, man. I've been called out, man. Oh hell. Yeah. It's been I think last time we talked, man, it's been really busy. So yeah, we do got to link up for those burgers, man. I haven't forgot. It's just like I got to find some time to actually get a chance to be able to do it.
That's what most of the women that I asked out would say before I finally got married. We really do. But I'm like, I'm busy. I got stuff.
Freeland, from what I understand, the wife tells you that every now and then too.
Like I said, though, I haven't met on my word. I haven't forgot about you. I really, really haven't. Like I said, the past 6 months has been absolutely just a blur. And like January has been like the first time I've actually had a chance to like stop and take a breath about everything. So yeah, man, I haven't forgot about you, man. We're gonna make it happen, I promise.
So there's so many things that are going on inside wrestling since the last time we talked. I mean, oh my gosh, like I often look at things from the perspective, and I think you may agree, when one door closes, it definitely allows opportunities and availabilities in other areas. So you have to always look at something as, you know what, this is a new chapter that's going to happen. And I think this has really proven to be itself when it comes to Ring of Honor, because you guys are the most talked about roster right now. Like, I don't think anyone's talking more about Ring of Honor than they have ever in a really long time. So take me through the process here of how things are going with you. What additional information are you hearing about Ring of Honor? And have you also found that the buzz around Ring of Honor has been fantastic ever since the big announcement?
Right. Well, I mean, well, first of all, like I said, people always like, how'd you find out? Like, I found out on Twitter. That's that's how I found out. Like, yikes. Oof. But I'm not gonna lie, like it sucked. You know, I took a day and kind of like got my feelings for a little bit. You know, I'm human. I'm allowed that. But there's one thing I always told myself is that no matter what, man, I remain outcome independent. No matter what, I remain outcome independent. No matter what else anybody else does, it doesn't deter me from what I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go, and where I'm trying to be. So, you know, 3 years ago, man, I told myself, like, no, I'm moving to Baltimore. Like, I'm going to be on Ring of Honor. Like, you're not going to stop me. Come hell or high water, come hook or crook. Like, I'm going to get there, and I get it. I fulfilled everything I said I was going to do. To me, that's a success. To me, that's a giant win in a business that has L's on the regular. So you know, granted, I didn't get a chance to spend a lot of time, as I say, in the sunlight. But I got to spend time in the sunlight, man. And one of the things about it is once you get a taste of it, man, you want more of it. You want to keep going. So you know, we were told that there's a good possibility they were going to come back out in April for a big super card and everything. But as I do with everything, I remain cautiously optimistic about it. My phone has been ringing, and people have been like, "Hey, have they called you? Have they called you?" No, they haven't called me yet, and that's fine. I wish them nothing but the best, because why not? I'm never the one to hold a grudge. I'm never the one to be petty, at least to people that know me. So it's been one of those things where I'm like, "Hey, man, if they call me, great. If they don't call me, great. I'm still gonna keep doing what I'm doing. I loved doing the independents, man. They're fun. I get a chance to learn from a lot of people. I get a chance to teach a lot of people, man. So in the short amount of time I've been doing this, you know, apparently people actually want to hear what I have to say. You know, I guess that's cool. But at the same time, man, it's like it's not going to stop for what I'm trying to do. I've been on 2 pay-per-views. So what makes you think I can't be on somebody else's pay-per-view? I've done TV. What makes you think I can't do somebody else's TV? The beauty of doing it once means that you can do it again. So now I have, you know, 2 years worth of work that I can just give out. Like, hey guys, this is what I've done. This is what I have. This is what I've been up to. You can't say that I don't belong. You can't say I don't operate when when I say the lights are at its brightest. No, when the pressure's on, I can get the job done, because this is what I've been preparing for since the very first day. But with that being said, dude, wrestling's great. Like you said, the entire roster was let go and just dumped into the indies. Look at what's happening now. Matt Taven, Michael Bay, PC, they're everywhere. Khan, everywhere. Gresham, everywhere. Like this is what to me is it's the kick in the gut that independent wrestling needed. Like, look at the Briscoes. Everywhere. I mean, people's like, "Oh, the forbidden door." Man, there wasn't a forbidden door. There's never a forbidden door. It's more like a forbidden curtain. All you had to do is just pull the son bitch back.
True.
Pull the son bitch back and see what happens. You know, there are no gatekeepers. if they want you, man, they'll come get you. Simple as that. It's real easy to get disheartened. It's real easy to like be discouraged. I'm not gonna lie, like I have my own balance. Only human, it is what it is. I was like, but at the same time, hey, man, like I know I'm talented. I know I have something to offer to somebody. And when the time is right, when my time is ready, I'll get my chance to do it all over again. And once I do, hey man, it's on and popping again.
Well, you sit there and you said Ring of Honor hasn't called you.
Mm-hmm.
Give us the insight. Who has called you? Who has contacted you to sit there and get O'Shea Edwards in that locker room?
Come on. Come
on.
Hey, hold on. Just give us the first 3 letters of the promotion. That's all we want.
Just 3 letters. I've had 1 3-letter promotion. Send out a feeler, to see where I was at, all that good stuff. I have heard rumors that a 5-letter organization was in talks to get a group of certain individuals, but once again, I believe things until I see my government name on paper. So until then, everything is talk. But hey, any news is good news, so I'll gladly take it. But in terms of what I can confirm and what I can't confirm, honestly, man, you guys know just about as much as I do.
Well, there's a guy by the name of Sean Ross Sapp that's out there, and I tell you what, I want a little piece of the pie. So I tell you what, I would love to break a scoop. So if you ever have a chance, there is plenty of grade A steak. What do they call it? Wagyu? Huh?
Ooh.
Maybe we can pull out some Wagyu. I don't think Sean Ross Sapp has Wagyu.
The minute I have something super juicy, I'll make sure I call you boys first, man. How about that?
Love it.
Oh, we can discuss over some nice burgers.
There you go. Bring your checkbook, boys. It's going to cost you.
Oh no! Hey, trust me, it will be worth it completely. Let's kind of jump in here, and your social media has been awesome. I love following it because you have great videos on here. I love the inspirational stuff you put on here as well. I think what a lot of people probably gravitate when it comes to following you is just your positive outlook on so many different things. I mean, I think that a lot of people could look at what has happened in the last several months and go, oh my God, here we go again. This is the world of wrestling, especially after you have some level of stability for a while. But I think what you said before, you have created a portfolio of yourself, and people know who you are, what you bring to a table. And I think right now is the perfect moment for you to get your opportunity to shine again, because my friend, the sun does need to shine on you. And but outside of that, tell us some of the things that you've been doing in the meanwhile.
Yeah, man, a lot of it has been recovery. December was super busy, with exception of maybe Christmas. But like in December, it was literally Chicago, Jersey, Baltimore, Charlotte, Atlanta in a span of 3 weeks. Even before then LA, then Atlanta. In a span of 3 weeks. That's a lot of traveling. I was very unlucky in the last week of the year. Caught the vid. Awesome. That was fantastic. That sucked. But once again, though, my calendar was done. So I'm like, yo, if I'm gonna get it, I'm glad I got it now. Came off of that real strong. I lost 15 pounds. So I've been putting that back in the gym, doing this, that, and the other, seeing my doctors, getting myself straight again, So I spend more money on recovery than I do actually building, myself up. And then on top of that, just continue to keep a social media presence, keep working on the promos, keep working on, just continue to put myself out there in a positive light, at least the most light that I can, while still continuing to maintain some level of decorum and some level of the infamous word of kayfabe here and there. I tell people all the time, I was like, listen, guys, social media is what it is. It's fake. It ain't real. Like, go outside, touch some grass. I was like, but at the same time, I show you what I want you to see, because there are some portions of my life that are just for me. And that's the way, that's the way it is. And I tell people all the time, I was like, if you know, you know. But the January's been real. Usually, I take January to kind of like lull a little bit. I take a moment, basically, where I can actually, see the forest from the trees a little bit. Because usually after that month, I get antsy. I start getting bored. I put my blinders back on, and bam, I'm right back to work for the next 11 months. And so I kind of stop, take a deep breath. All right, cool. Then we do it all over again. So for me, it's my time to kind of cycle down a little bit, and then only just gear back up to do it all over again, kind of take stock in what I've done, what I've been, what I've accomplished, kind of reconnect with a few people with the business and out of the business, all that good stuff, and then get ready to do it all over again.
Have you had a chance to stay in contact with some of your comrades from Ring of Honor? Have they shared any of their just feelings on, hey, we're out there now, excitement, trepidation? What are some of the feelings that some of the people that you communicate with are feelings?
Man, it's a wide array. Some people are finding it easier than others. Some people are, kind of finding, what the independents are like, because some of those guys have been on independence for a very, very long time. Like I said, I was lucky that even though I was doing Ring of Honor, I was still in the independent, strong, doing this, that, and the other. And some of those guys weren't as lucky. Well, let me rephrase it. Some is fortunate, but even still, they're finding out that Ring of Honor may be on a hiatus. I was like, but at the same time, those 3 letters still hold quite a bit of weight, and it travels farther than most people want to think it does. And so for it, like, guys are finding work, and I love it. Like I want everyone to have all the success. You'll never hear me say an ill word about anybody for any reason, especially not out in public. Because if I can't say it to your face, I'm not going to say it at all. So guys are finding out what's going on beyond has been a big point for a lot of people. Like I said, NWA's been a long point for people. Impact's been a few for people, and then like even Gresham starting his own stuff out there in Terminus. Like you applaud it. Because it's like, cool, when, like you said, when one door closes, all it means another one opens. And so sometimes, doors open a little quickly for others than for some, but it's no big deal. Those doors will open when they are supposed to open.
It's funny you mentioned Jonathan Gresham, because I think the universal consensus among the wrestling community is that is a man who it is way, way overdue for him to get the credit he so richly deserves, because of the human being he is. First and foremost, let's put it for that, a good human being. Second of all, a tremendous talent, a great representative for any organization.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when you have somebody who has those 3 intangibles, that is what you look for. You look for somebody who can be that flag bearer. And with Terminus and everything that's been going on right now, I feel like maybe wrestlers nowadays have more leverage than the promotions do. And what I mean by that is you are a commodity right now. If they want you, then guess what? You're going to have to negotiate, and you're going to have to come to my terms. You know what? I do want X amount of days off to heal. I do want this or that if you really want me. And I've always felt that the power should lie with the wrestler and not the promoter, right? It's the boys for the boys against the promoter, because at the end of the day, the promoter's going to get theirs, and the boys and girls need to get theirs.
Yes.
So continue.
Yeah, it needs to be mutually beneficial. And that's the one thing that most people don't understand. Like, this is a business, and we are both trying to make money. And so for that, guys need to, promoters need to understand that, hey, look, I'm not asking for it. I'm asking just for an easy payday. I'm asking for, this is what I'm going to bring to the table, because 9 times out of 10, hey man, you called me, not the other way around. But usually for me, I'm like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I'm asking for. And because this is what I'm going to bring, I'm going to bring a very business first attitude. That's what it is. It's business. But then on top of that, I'm a professional in everything I do. Before I was a wrestler, I was a professional, and I'm a grown ass man. So it's like I conduct myself like I'm a grown ass man. And even when I started wrestling, I started late, but at the same time, I was grown. Brother, you ain't yelling at me. You ain't gonna talk to me any old way. Like, homie, this thing that comes off, we could take this outside and handle it like grown men, But I'm a sucker for, hey man, let's work on this. And even if like my rate can be a little high for some people, hey man, I understand that. But why I'm charging this, because hey, I'm assuming I'm coming in once, I'm coming in to do what you need me to do, and then I'm leaving. But if you want to bring me in for a number of shows, then yo man, let's talk about it. We can come to a consent, we come to a mutual agreement that works for everybody, and we both win. Once I kind of get to people explain it like that, like, oh wow, this was easy. Yeah, man, business with me is very easy. I'm not here for the him and the haw and the hey, brother, and yes sir, no sir. Man, just talk to me. What is you trying to do? How much, how far can you go with this? At the end of the day, I'm trying to make sure wherever place that I go, it's better for the fact that I was in it. And if I can't do that, then I don't need to be on that show.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of independent wrestlers are doing that, where, okay, book me 3-4, months in a row, or, 4 out of 5 months in a row, and I'll give you a small discount, but I'm going to be there. I'm going to bring my A game, and you're going to get a hell of a match.
Right. Well, you're going to get hell of matches on top of it. But on top of me, though, it allows me to get invested. It allows me to get interested and to build something in an area that normally I wouldn't get a chance to be in, because I'm going to be there 3, 4, maybe 5 shows. Excuse me. I'm going to be there X amount of months. Okay, cool. Oh, who is O'Shea? I come here once. Yo, I got to see that guy again. Well, guess what? He's going to be for the next, 5 months. Perfect. Then I can do this. I can do that. I can cultivate a new area that I haven't hit before. I have a new set of followers that I never would have gotten before if they never would have saw me wrestle. Because sometimes Ring of Honor gets real wonky in terms of how they want to distribute their shows. I can't control that. It is what it is. But still, some people outside of Twitter and YouTube, some people just don't know. But when you see me once, you see it. It's cool. Now you have a crop of young guys who normally wouldn't get a chance to get out, getting a chance to work me. Guys like Joe Keys, Ken Dixon, Eric Martin, Dante Calabraro, who can get out there and work them. And they're going to be better for it. Which is ultimately all I want. Is I just want the business and the art of wrestling to be better. That's it. If I can tell a great story within those 5 months, homie, let's do that. Because to me, that sticks. Those are the matches that people remember. Those are the matches that transcend time. Because if not, it's not so much of the spot. It was the moments that we create and the story that we told.
No, I agree. That's very, very well said. Let me ask you something here, and I'll try to keep this as neutral as possible. But
please,
do you feel like a lot of people have a difficult time who may be new in the industry when it comes to negotiating, when it comes to booking themselves? And I feel like you have been in the industry for a long time. Have you ever pulled somebody aside, especially during times like this, and said, "Hey, I'm not going to tell you how to do your business. Yours is yours. But here's some things you might want to think about." Do you think there's sometimes wrestlers hurt themselves because they're so eager just to grab something? So talk to me a little bit about the business aspect of it and how you approach positioning yourself. And if this is my amount, I'm just going to use random numbers, $100, how do you have a conversation with a promoter and say, this is what I want? Maybe some wrestlers who are listening to this can say, you know what? Okay, maybe I need to implore that, or maybe I need to try that.
Right. A lot of it boils down to, one, how much you think you're worth. You can, brother, I'm probably worth $1 million. Nobody's going to pay me $1 million to go wrestle. Let's just be real. Nobody's going to pay me $1 million. I mean, somebody might. Who knows? If you're listening, call me. Let's make it happen. I was like, but at the same time, I'm also realistic. Because I'm going to charge I'm going to demand what I demand, and then I'm going to justify why I'm demanding what I'm demanding. Not for just because I'm saying this good. It's like, no, man, because I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do the things that everyone else on your roster probably isn't going to do. So within that reason, okay, I have 10,000 followers on Twitter. Well, homie, your Twitter account only reaches 1,000 people. So already I got you beat by 100%.
All I have to do is you give me a match card that's worth showing. Guess what, man? There's 10,000 people who are going to see it. Oh, I do a promo all of a sudden. Oh, man, guess what? There's going to be 10,000 people going to see it, like it, and retweet it. Oh, you're on IWTV? Guess what, man? There's another thousands of people who's going to see that too. And I get to show that off and do this, that, and the other. It's the little things. Don't just do one little thing. You do all the little things. So all those little things are what equals the bigger picture. It is. Those small details are devastating when they aren't there. They just are. When you realize, oh man, that one detail really did screw the pooch for you, didn't it? Man, I bet you won't. You bet you figure that next time. When it comes to the younger guys, I'm like, guys, stop thinking about how much money you're going to make if you aren't even breaking even yet. Like, learn how to break even. If I can go out and wrestle and not lose money, perfect. Great. That's a good day. When I was first coming, that was a great day. Like, awesome. I didn't lose money today. Find ways to supplement those costs and everything. Because, homie, this is a business. We got to start treating it like it. And the minute someone realizes they can get over on you, guess what they're going to continue to keep doing? They're going to continue to keep getting over on you. Every single school teaches people how to wrestle. Every single school will teach you how to lock up, how to do an arm drag, how to run the ropes, how to take a bump. How many schools are teaching you how to conduct business? How many schools are teaching you how to format a resume? How many schools are going to teach you how to establish social media presence and like not look stupid? Like, you can be a good professional wrestler and not have social media. Look at Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, if you can be good at wrestling and you can be good at social media, brother, it don't hurt. It don't hurt at all. But if you're bad at social media, it can really hinder you if you're not careful. So there's these little things in the business that most people aren't teaching because some of these guys don't know. So I really don't have this thing of, people are wrong. Some of them don't know because some of the guys teaching didn't grow up in this type of era where you had all of this information at your fingertips at the drop of a hat. So the business is changing along with everything else. I love talking to some of the younger guys about it because I'm like, guys, this isn't. I told people, like, wrestling's not hard. Wrestling's rather easy. The business, though, will get you caught up real quick. There's a reason why you see so many great talents, and they're like, how come this guy isn't farther? And then you see what he's doing, go, oh, I get it. Okay, fine. And then you see guys who are great on social media, great branding, and all this other stuff, and then the bell rings. Oof. Ugh. Brother, oh boy. It's a tale as old as time, but I mean, we've seen it, and off the top of your head, we can all name like 3 people who fit one of those two categories, and you hate it. You absolutely hate it because, like, man, this guy should be seen more, but man, he is just a tire fire on social media. Or this guy's great on social media, but boy, man, that bell rings. This dude just lays an egg. And it breaks my heart, man. It breaks my heart because there's so much more that guys can be doing if they just take a minute, take a step back, do some solid like self-reflection, and realize that, okay, this is how I can be getting better. This pandemic's been going on since God knows how long now. And if people haven't gotten better in the span of 2 years, brother, what have you been doing? What have you been doing? People can't.
Would you also say that there would be a market for, there's a lot of wrestling training schools, but there's not a whole lot of wrestling university, wrestling 101?
Oh, man, great.
Do you think there would be a market for something like that where you could have some experienced people, some veterans like yourself who, could be collectively working together almost like professors and saying, hey guys, here's some things you need to keep in mind if you want to succeed. I've seen some of these things. I've gone up and down these roads before. I've had some of these uncomfortable conversations with promoters. You need to learn this because if you don't, it does not matter. You will not succeed. Do you think there's a market for something like that?
Most definitely is a market for it. But here's the thing. I'll do it for free because I can tell a room of 10 people how to do it. Out of those 10, maybe 3 of them will listen to me.
So what? Okay, so let me ask you this: why do you think it's? Do you think it's an ego thing? Do you think it's a what? I feel like I'm doing great. It's they don't want to accept the reality or
Little,
hear someone else saying something.
little from column A, little from column B. Because even out those three kids who will listen to me, maybe one of them actually put it in motion. I have to talk to 10 people just to get one guy to listen to me. And here's the thing: I really don't, in my mind, I really don't think I'm really worth listening to. I'm still listening to everybody else half the time myself. But I just like but with that being said, I am not out here just like, hey, sit down, kid, let me tell your story. No, not at all. My knowledge is my knowledge. If you want to know what I know, guess what, man? My phone's on all the time. You can call me. Send me this. People do it all the time. Shay, can I talk to you real quick? Sure. Shay, can I send you an email real quick? Sure. Shay, can I text you or can I send you a match for you to look at? Sure. Shay, how do I talk to promoters? Hey man, you talk to them like this. You talk to them like that. Da 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 da. Because me telling you how to do it is easy. You still have to do the work.
Yeah.
That's just it. A lot of guys kind of expect it to either come to them. And like, brother, I don't care how good you are. It ain't coming to you. Because even the ones who are these exceptional talents, they still have to go to other people. And it gets a little disheartening sometimes, but at the same time, I'm like, all right, man, cool, no problem. But you can't say I never talked to you. You can't say I never tried. You can't never say I tried to bestow something on you that I've learned from someone a lot wiser than me. But I just, at the end of the day, hey, man, that's where you are, and I am where I am.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I feel like when it comes to wrestling, I mean, listen, the curtain's been pulled back. We all know exactly, we know who Oz is at this point in time. So I think we need to get past that and we need to look at this as if it's anything else. Free agency in the NFL, free agency in Major League Baseball. We track these players, we track where they're going and contract negotiations, and I feel like wrestling really has become integrated into that whole aspect of it. But if you don't know what you're worth, then someone will absolutely take advantage of you and you will wonder why you don't succeed. And I think that's maybe a big thing. Would you agree, O'Shea, that, and I don't want to lump everyone into one category, but it's the newer generation that seems to think, I don't want to say millennials, but I mean, they typically get the bad rap, but
I am one too. So I'm like, yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're old school. You have an old soul. And I think that you were raised a lot the way that we were. It's just, you got to work for what you want.
We were the last generation to play outside.
Yes.
We were the last generation to be offline.
We know what it's like when there wasn't anything. I'm still someone who, after the jug of milk is done, I wash the thing out and put the cap on.
Yeah, I wash out, then I throw it away.
Somebody looked at me and said,
yeah,
what are you doing? And I'm like, it's just ingrained in you. There's these things.
Have you smelled that? Like, it's god awful. After 3 days, like, what is that smell? Gotta wash the jug out, dog.
Yes.
I know that.
But do you think it is the younger crowd that seems to think, because, okay, without saying anything, I do know some examples. Some people have tweeted and whatnot, and I've talked to some wrestlers via DMs that they think they're, don't stink. And it's unfortunately frustrating that they don't ask the questions that they need to be asking. And sometimes, unfortunately, there are people that will not just take someone under their wing, because guess what? And I support it. Everyone's out to do their own thing completely. Do you think there's this ego or this self-entitlement? Because let's be honest, I see wrestlers on TV now. They've been in the business, less than 3 years, 4 years, 18 months, and now they're on national TV. It's like they've gotten success that's come so quickly sometimes that they don't know how to process that, if it makes sense.
Yeah, and I could see where you're coming from, but once again, everyone's race is always going to be a little different. So personally speaking, I can never sit there and be mad about watching a kid be in the business for 3 years and all of a sudden he's on TV. I'd be very hypocritical, because God knows if it was me, I'd do the same exact thing. But with that being said, it's when they're ready, they'll ask the question. It's up to guys like me, guys like Darius, Lockhart, guys like Shug, to when they are ready to ask those questions, we're right here. If you don't want to ask, hey brother, that's fine. You don't have to ask. It's cool, man. Apparently you got it on lock. You don't need me. But there's always going to be someone who does. That's it. That's all I can do. It's all I have control over is when someone wants to ask a question, I have the answer. And if I don't have the answer, I go to someone else and I direct them to someone who does. Once again, we all have egos in this business. And I tell somebody before, if you don't have an ego in wrestling, I got some beachfront property in Montana I want to sell you. Because you're a liar. You're a liar, bro. We all have egos. We're all a little bit self-indulgent on ourselves. We're selfish by nature. It is what it is. This business is no different. I'm like, but there still has to be some semblance of I still want to help. I still want to give back. Wrestling doesn't owe me anything. It never will owe me anything. But wrestling has given me so much. I'm like, no, man, you want to know how I do this? This is how I do this. Now do better than me. Because trust me, I'm going to keep trying to do better than you. And then when it's all said and done, we'll see who makes it so far.
Let me throw this out to you. Do you want to jump in here, Ritzer? Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm good.
I want to throw this out here at you. A lot of people are gravitating, and maybe it's not just recently, but maybe it's slowly been a maturation here of the GCW. We've seen the rise of GCW, and we've seen a lot more matches that some people may or may not like, such as the ultra violent stuff. For you professionally, would it come down to a situation of maybe a certain promotion that wants to bring you in that doesn't fit your style? Or would it be, you know what, that's in line with what I'm asking from a financial standpoint? That's what I would do. Or is that sometimes a struggle to determine this is what they do? However, they are willing to pay me what I want, but I don't necessarily align myself with the style and the format.
Yeah, I'm no deathmatch wrestler. I'll be the first one to tell you I don't. Man, this is all I got. So, but at the same time, it's like like I said, I'm a storyteller. If you want to do ultra violent, you want to do hardcore, and you want to do it with me, the first words out of my mouth is why. And just because, well, this is the type of show we run, that ain't gonna cut it for me, Chief. There's got to be a reason why I'm doing this. I'm not about to go throw myself through a plate glass window just for shits and giggles. Just for a payday. Brother, I lose no money if I stay at home. None whatsoever. It's got to make sense. There has to be a reason why I'm doing this. Like, to me, matches like that's a crescendo. But most people don't understand when it comes to crescendo, you just don't start a crescendo. No, brother, there's a build for that. Yeah, it's a build. Then we come back down again, man. I sorry for the musical metaphor, but it's just that's first place I went. Like, there has to be a build for it. Why are we getting here? What is the reason why we're doing this right now? Because if I'm going to sit there and throw myself through a table, put someone through a door, hit someone with a trash can, a chair, and a kendo stick, I better have butts in seats, and they're only using the edge of it, because I'm not doing this in front of like 30 people. You're out of your mind. You're just out of your mind. Why am I doing it? Because I have a story I have to tell, because now I have to sell this to the 10,000 followers that I have. I have to sell this for the people who will be watching at home. I have to sell this to the audience when I show up. This is why I'm stepping in this ring. This is why I'm taking everything that's not nailed down and going to wrap it around this guy's head right now. If I just show up and do it, okay, where do we go? That's like starting a roller coaster at the top. Okay, cool. It just goes down here from here. Like, oh man, the build's already gone. Crap, this sucks. So, like, I'm not opposed to it. I don't knock it. It has its place. Wrestling is art. Everyone loves what they love. I tell people all the time, wrestling, as much as wrestling isn't for everybody, wrestling is for everybody. There is something for you if you like wrestling, regardless of what it is. I'm like, but for me, if you're bringing me in, I'm assuming there's a reason why we're doing this, not just because somebody wants to hit me with a chair. Nah, brother, that check better have some commas in it, if that's the case.
And do you think some of these conversations actually do happen with a lot of wrestlers if they say, hey, this is what we want to bring you in for? Or is it not till after the fact that they talk to you about the reason they're going to bring you in and what's going to be happening? Is that, I would assume that would be initially discussed with the whole, hey, by the way, how are you today? This is what I want to talk to you about. Are those the types of conversations that happen between the talent and the promoter? And then obviously, do you feel like a lot of wrestlers ask good questions, such as what you just said before they make a decision?
First of all, it better be. When I am asked, hey, we want to bring you in, are you available for this date? It's followed by, yes, I am. What would you like me to do? What is it you're looking for? Oh, well, what's your rate? No, we'll talk about that later. What is it you want me to do? Oh, we hope you come in, do this ultraviolet match. Hey man, look, that's just not for me. That doesn't really fit my brand or what my character is. Thank you so much for the inquiry, but I'm gonna have to respectfully decline at this time. And I move on. I had to learn that the hard way because I show up and I end up like, hey, I want to have you do 3 matches. No, you're not. And now me and the promoter looking dumb because he thinks I'm going to do this match, and I'm like, brother, you paid me for 1, not 3. You have to start asking these questions. Workers have to be their best advocate. You have to be this. Look, you can be the CEO of your own company if you want to, but you're a company of one person, which means you have to be the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the accountant, the secretary, the paper pusher, and the janitor all at the same time. If you aren't asking these questions, you are doing yourself a humongous disservice. And this is what happens. And when that happens, this is how guys get taken advantage of.
Wrestling University right here, you guys. You're getting information that you may not get from anybody else. So Shea Edwards has been in the business a long time. He's joining us live tonight, not only telling us about what's going on with Ring of Honor, but his career as well. We're going to be talking about the dates that he has available. I say available, however, that is dated. It's almost like once a newspaper comes out, the information is dated. So if you're a promoter and you're looking to book O'Shea, you better get Johnny on it, because once that tweet gets sent out and, hey, these are the dates, guess what? I guarantee a bunch of people have already made those phone calls. So please, by all means, get your emails out, get your text messages out, and make sure you are booking this incredible talent for your upcoming show. O'Shea, I love the fact that you speak so candidly about the business itself, because we don't get these kind of conversations. We normally get a lot of the, I can't wait to do this, or I can't wait to do that. But in the reality of it, especially when insurance becomes an issue, and you got to go to the hospital, and a lot of people don't realize there's a lot of GoFundMes that are out there for the simple fact that wrestlers put their bodies on the line, and they don't necessarily have that safety net of an Anthem or a Blue Cross and Blue Shield. So let me ask you this. Do you take that also into consideration when it comes to, if someone says, here's the stip, you're thinking, okay, here's X amount of dollars. However, if something goes awry, a big chunk of this may be taken out if I need to get myself healed up again. And how could that affect future dates?
Once again, if guys aren't asking themselves that question, once again, I was a professional before I started wrestling. I know wrestling doesn't last forever. I know I've seen guys who stop wrestling and just looking at them and just going, brother, what happened to you? Guys will take care of themselves. So we have to be our number one advocate in terms of like taking care of ourselves and our training. I don't do the starving artist gimmick. Nope. I work full time outside of wrestling because that's what I want to do. Because I don't plan on being past 45 and still wrestling. I don't. At that point in time, I better have a suit on, hold a clipboard with a with an earpiece in my ear somewhere, watching everybody else do it. But I know how to take care of myself. I don't worry about insurance because I got it. Like I pay $15 to go see my doctor. Sweet. I break something. I pay $20. They pop it back in, put me in a cast. Sweet. It's the one thing I worry about. I'm to a point where I don't lose money wrestling anymore. I don't even break even anymore. If I'm not making money, brother, I'm not going. I'm not doing this for fun anymore, even though I'm still having the time of my life. I'm here to get paid now. Once again, you reach a certain point, you start to realize, okay, cool. If I don't start treating myself like a star, I can't be mad if no one else does. But depending on what the promoter wants me to do, once again, that goes into the price. That goes into the rate. You're not going to have me do an ultraviolet match and then think it's going to take $200 and that's going to be it. Are you out of your mind, brother? No way, man. No way. So once again, these are conversations that other wrestlers need to be having. These are conversations these are questions they need to be asking themselves, especially those wrestlers with families on the way. You have to start asking yourselves these questions. Is me driving 13 hours to bumfuck Colorado worth it right now? Knowing that, like, I got a wife and a kid at home? Huh. Like, these are the questions you have to start asking yourself. Some of them do. God bless them. And some of them don't. And at the same time, God bless them.
I believe those who have plans have the power. And when they need you and you really don't need them, you definitely are in a position to say, thank you, but no thank you. And I think you're 100% right. Guys, I have just retweeted here some dates that are available right now. Once again, they're like seats that get sent out for availability for an arena. I cannot guarantee all of these are still available, but if you are a promoter and you want to book O'Shea, obviously you can follow my Twitter as well. Follow O'Shea's, and you can see there are very few dates left in January. You may want to go ahead and hit that first. February and March, from what I've been told and from what I've heard, are filling up quickly. Go ahead and follow. I come from the Don West school, and God bless Don West, but you know what? Supplies are limited, and when they're gone, well, they're gone.
They're gone.
I know that the Ritt has Ritt. Did we already ask him the SAT question? Have we asked him the SAT question?
Yep. Well, we already did the hot tub time machine, but I've got a little different question to ask the man.
Let's go. Good, because I have one as well. So I'll let you ask yours first. Go ahead.
Okay. O'Shea, we're going to talk best burger place you have ever been to, and what did you order?
Okay. Man. So in Atlanta, there's a place called Vortex Grill. They are known for, and I haven't done it, but they are known for two burgers. One's called the double bypass. And the
oh my God. That's ridiculous.
So let me set the table for you. The double bypass is grilled cheese, burger, bacon, egg. Grilled cheese, burger, bacon.
Stop it.
Grilled cheese. Double bypass, right? A triple bypass. Grilled cheese, burger, bacon, egg. Grilled cheese, burger, bacon, egg. Grilled cheese, burger, bacon, egg. Grilled cheese. Triple bypass. I love being on this side of the dirt, so I dare not. But they had a bison Hawaiian burger that was just, I actually had to make it for me. It was a bison patty, which was so good. Provolone, Swiss cheese. I had to put bacon on it, a slice of pineapple with like a teriyaki glaze with like some sweet potato fries. Son, yo, I had to be rolled out of that place. It wasn't conventional by any stretch of imagination, but just the taste and the flavors that all just came together. I was like, yo, this is real. With the right beer. Ooh, son, it was real good.
I guarantee you, Freeland's looking right now.
I'm on the menu. I am on the menu. I am not even shitting you. I could do a share screen right now. In fact, let me do it right now.
Like I said, they probably changed up since last time I've been there. So I think it was like a double, a triple, maybe a quadruple, however the hell you say it, bypass. But yeah, that burger's massive. It was actually, you remember the show Man vs. Food?
Yes.
It was
Ziggy
on
Zaggy.
He was on there.
Okay. No BS here. No bullshit. I am looking at this thing right here, and I don't know how someone comes out on the end of it. Okay. Like, that should be called the Widowmaker. That is insane.
You don't leave the same person.
Oh my God. I feel like my spirit would just leave my body and say, F this, I'm out.
But it'll leave full. It'll leave full though.
Is it tater tots that come with this thing?
Tater tots
this
come with.
Is ridiculous. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to tweet this out right now. This is ridiculous. This is like, I wonder how many calories are in this.
Man, it's past your daily allotment. I tell you that.
Are you kidding me? I'm past my daily allotment when I wake up. Oh my god. Man, I can't take it. You know, people talk about, you know, eating right and eating healthy and whatnot, but like, holy crap,
That is a cheat day.
that has to be.
That's a cheat week.
Yeah. You don't have to eat.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna triple by. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm gonna order it, but yeah, burger. If you could. Let me ask you something, O'Shea. Are you into spicy food?
Lately, I've been getting something with a little bit of kick into it, but nothing really. I still want to taste it, man. I don't want my whole mouth to taste like rubber, you know. Like So I think the spices I've had is a pineapple, it's like a pineapple and habanero. Man, it was almost a pineapple and blueberry habanero, salt. It had some heat, but man, around that I'm sorry, it was more sweet at first, but at the end you kind of felt it. I was like, okay, like I could do this, not like all the time, but if I wanted something that kind of like, that's a spicy meatball, like yeah.
Holy goodness, I'm gonna tweet. This is I literally am staring at the picture right now, not even believing that this is even humanly possible.
It's something person.
So you're in the Northeast right now, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously I'm in Cincinnati. I'm a chilly guy. I'm nowhere near where you guys are at. But is there a place in your neck of the woods?
By the way, congrats to the Bengals. Finally got that playoff win. Congrats to that.
31 years.
As a Baltimore fan, I'm like, oh, this is going to hurt my soul. But I will give credit where credit's due. The Cincinnati's a problem.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen in the next round. But we got off the schneid, 31 years. I mean,
hey man.
You got to start somewhere.
I still remember the Super Bowl when our wide receiver, we couldn't find him. Our star player, couldn't find him. He was gone.
Like I said, hey, at this point, Tom, I got to see my Georgia Bulldogs beat Alabama. At this point, Tom, I don't care. Like Georgia beat Alabama. At this point, Tom, I hope Cincinnati was the whole damn thing. Don't even care. Georgia's national champion. That's all. Like I will gladly, if Georgia can win every time, I hope Cincinnati wins every Super Bowl here on out.
This is why I love you. This is
why. As long the minute Georgia doesn't win a national championship, screw the Bengals.
Hey, but here's the funny thing about all this. At least it's not Roll Tide.
At least it ain't Roll Tide. I'm so tired of hearing that.
You and me together.
Oh man.
The one question I want to ask you here before I let you go is something that's really interesting. I want to ask you this: if you were to start a promotion, one guy, one gal, who you got? One guy, one gal, who you got? O'Shea is now officially backstage. You're doing the booking.
One girl be Trisha Dora.
Okay.
Trisha Dora. If I could pick one, oh man. See, the easy answer would be Jonathan Gresham.
Yes, it would.
The easy answer, Jonathan Gresham. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with Josh Alexander.
Oh, nice.
Hey, I'm still working to try to get that match for you.
Brother, so am I. So,
hey, Danny Daniels, let's get it together, brother. Let's get it happening. Let's get it happening.
Scott Demore, like I know you're watching this, man. Come on, dude. Come on.
That's right, Scott. What are you doing?
Scott,
come on.
Hey, I'm even trying to get Paul Bowe out of PPW up there in Pennsylvania.
Come on, man. Ain't nothing but an hour drive, man.
Well, I tell you what, O'Shea, it has been awesome. Please, once again, share your social media. Where can people find you? The whole 9 yards. Where can they buy merchandise? And where is the next place that you're going to be popping up so people in that area can go ahead and check you out?
Sure, man. Socials are simple, man. On Twitter, it's Big Bad Kaiju. BIGBADKIJU. On Twitter, on Instagram, it's the same thing. Period after every single word. For merch, it's whatamaneuver.net. Love those guys, man. Support them. Man, it's just small business, supporting small business, man. You can't be wrong with that. And the shirts are just nice. So nice. My next match is going to be in Paradigm Pro out in Louisville, Jeffersonville, Indiana area. After that, I got some other stuff coming that I kind of got to keep quiet right now. But the next big match coming up there is going to be February 20th. Fight Club Pro is going to be back in DC's first show with a crowd back in DC in like actually longer than that, like before the pandemic. So that's going to be huge, man. The first 3 rows already sold out. All the VIP is sold out. It's just standing room only at this point. And they were like, at this rate, they are not going to have tickets at the door. So yeah, got to get them in. That's going to be a big match, man. We're telling stories is over 2 years old, and they're finally going to come to a head. So this is going to be something worth seeing. I'm really excited about that show just because that's the one I've been invested in since I first moved up here. So that means a lot to me.
Man, I tell you what, loved it. Always great catching up with you, hearing how you're doing. Love to hear that you're doing well and doing great things. Once again, Wrestling University, hey, we may have to work together on this because
Let's go.
You got a wealth of knowledge, and I really hope people listen to this interview and take some stuff away. Guys, O'Shea Edwards, once again, follow him on social media. Dates are going fast. Once again, if you're a promoter, hurry up. Don't sit on the pot because guess what? When the date's gone, it's gone. All right, O'Shea. We'll talk to you down the road, my friend.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, man. You have a good one.
Take care, man.
You too. Bye. All right, O'Shea Edwards. That was a lot of fun. And I always feel like I come away from a conversation with him being more knowledgeable about wrestling. And not only wrestling, but what happens outside the ropes. It's just when you're able to pick someone's brain like that, it's just like, oh, man, I geek off that kind of stuff. And he's got so much that he can give to this industry that's outside of those ropes. And I definitely feel like he is going to be given the opportunity because you cannot let a good mind go to waste like that.
Hey, I can't wait to be the one to out-scoop Sean.
Oh, hey, we're going to do it. Guess what, O'Shea? Wagyu, baby. Wagyu. That's all I'm going to say. Guys, we're going to step out for a short break. When we come back, the hits keep on rolling. Yes.
Hey, I can't wait. 10 o'clock hour. We got the church's money coming.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. This is Front Row Material. This is Front Row Material. It is Tuesday night. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing a portion of your evening with us. We have had an amazing show so far, but you know what? The hits keep on coming. Ritzner, what's on the line next for us?
Hey, man. We're going to sit there and we're going to cut right to the chase. We got the church's money coming on. Let's bring him in. How you doing, sir?
What's going on, bro? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate you.
What has been going on with you so far? I mean, I know we always start off conversation interviews with hoping everyone is doing well and staying healthy during all this craziness. So how has life been with you during this whole crazy pandemic time?
Life's been good, man. I've been dodging the COVID, you know what I'm saying, the whole time. Everything been good. My family good. Everything's all good. I haven't ran into any problems. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good over here.
So what part of the woods are you in right now in the country? Where are you located?
I'm in Philly. What about y'all?
Nice.
Where y'all at?
I'm pretty close to you. I'm like maybe 2.5 hours away, right above Harrisburg, so.
Okay.
I'm in the Queen City. I'm in Cincinnati. So I'm even further away from everybody else. How are you dealing with all that snow that just came in? Did you guys get a lot?
No, it snowed a little bit, then it started raining, and the snow was gone. But
wow.
I can't stand snow, bro. As soon as I hear that we're gonna have snow, man, I get pissed off. I can't stand it, bro.
No, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. So, I mean, outside of everything, you know, wrestling has become one of these things that has changed a lot recently. There's been a lot of wrestlers going to different companies, and the indies are really popping hot right now. What would you say right now is the most exciting thing about wrestling as it is right now today?
It's exciting that everything is possible. You know what I'm saying? Like before, we was in a time where you wouldn't see companies do business together, but now literally anybody can show up on anybody's show at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's real exciting. You know what I'm saying? It's like the wrestling industry is open minded now. When before it was just you know, it was like to the point where you couldn't even mention another company by name. Now all that stuff is out the window. So it's a good thing.
When it comes to your career specifically, let's kind of take things back a little bit here. What was the
hmm
first notion that you realized that wrestling was something that was going to be a long-term portion of your career, of your life?
I knew it since I was a kid. When I was a kid, this is what I wanted to do. And when I actually when I actually started to pursue it, uh, I knew I wasn't going to stop. I mean, like there's been times over the years where like after going through like whatever BS in the game, I wouldn't like it as much, but I always had that passion though. So it was pretty much right from the jump. And then as I started having a little bit of accomplishments, I just wanted to I just loved it more and more.
Who were some of the people that early on kind of inspired you? Was there anybody in particular that you kind of caught you caught their attention, or they caught your attention, and you decided, you know what, I really like what they're doing?
You talking about like influences as far as like when I was younger or whatever?
Yeah, from a
Yeah,
fan's
yeah.
perspective.
Yeah, definitely. Of course, like when I was really young, I was a Hulkamaniac. But then once I got my hands on NWA, I was hooked. Um, like then New Japan Pro Wrestling, I was hooked. Like my favorite wrestler of all time is Eddie Guerrero. So like, it was like so many different people over the years. You got Owen Hart, Eddie Guerrero, Tony Blanchard, Ric Flair, Rick Rude. You know what I'm saying? Too Cold Scorpio. Like the list goes on, man. Like so many different influences.
So, growing up watching NWA, how does it feel to actually be a part of the NWA now?
I love it. I love it. Like man, the two companies that I fell in love with, like I said, was NWA and New Japan. Like those '90s New Japan Junior Heavyweight division. That was the truth, man. So like being part of NWA now, it's a lesson, bro. I love it.
What would you say when it comes to wrestling today that is different than when you were a fan of it? I mean, I know obviously there's a lot of things that do change over a period of time, but would you say there's anything in particular that what you are seeing now is completely different than the way it was back then as a fan?
Yeah. Well, back then you didn't really have a lot of guys that are my size. You know what I'm saying? It was like it was a big man's world, and you didn't see smaller guys. Now it's like the size thing is it's not an issue anymore. You know what I mean? So it's like anybody that has talent, that has a passion for it, they could be successful if they're given an opportunity, and that's always a good thing. So definitely the size things, you know.
Let's talk about that for a second. When you talk about the different size
Mhm.
of wrestlers, obviously coming from the Northeast, obviously it was always looked at as the land of the giants. It was always the big
Mhm.
guys, and it was always the guys who were 6'5" and over, 300 pounds, and all that. And I think you were kind of with me. You kind of grew up on that, and that's the kind of the vision you have in your head for a wrestler. Did that ever influence you to as far as, hey, am I going to be able to make it in this industry when I'm not quite what some of these giants are that I grew up knowing? Or did you say, no, not necessarily? I think I could still definitely keep my own.
I mean, of course, I wanted to do it, but like when I first started out, I was told that I'm not going to make it. You know what I'm saying? I'm too small. You know what I'm saying? Like you're never going to go anywhere. You're just too small. It's a big man sport. You're never going to go anywhere. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't let it deter me. I just kept going. You know what I'm saying? And then over the years, as times changed, you just saw guys my size. You know what I'm saying? Start popping up and getting opportunities. But yeah, in the beginning it was rough, man. I was kept being told that I'm too small. I'm never going to mount anything. You're not going to go anywhere. You know what I mean? So
Now, what age were you when you decided that you were going to start looking for schools? What age were you, and how did that whole process start?
Not sure, probably about 18, 19. But it's like I really didn't know where to look. But and the way I came across a school was every Tuesday in the Daily News, this guy named Mad Dog Tierson, he had a wrestling column in the Daily News every Tuesday. So one Tuesday I saw that there was a school opening near where I live at. So I just went up there and talked to the people, and and um and I started training. Actually, before that, my cousin, he had said, yeah, there's a school down South Philly, and so me and my cousin, we went down there, and it was ran by this guy named Hard Rock Hamilton. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with him, but we went down there, and he was interested in my cousin because my cousin is like 6'2", 250, 260, and Hard Rock Hamilton is a big guy. You know what I'm saying? And this was back in I think this was back in like 1999 or something like that. So like Hard Rock was like the first person that told me, yeah, I mean, your cousin can probably make it, but you won't. You just too small. You know what I'm saying? So then I didn't go there, and then like shortly after that, that's when I came across that column in the Daily News about another school opening, and I just went down there, and you know what I'm saying, got the wheels in motion.
Well, you keep getting told that you're not big enough. So did you start thinking, well, I got to do other things to stand out? Maybe get better on, promo skills to compensate for not being the biggest guy.
No, not then. I mean, I just wanted to wrestle. I wasn't even thinking about promos. I was actually scared for a long time to like get on the mic and stuff like that. I just wanted to wrestle. So once I got trained, I was just like I was just like, I'll just be a high flying guy, you know what I'm saying? I'll just be flipping around, be the bump toy, whatever I need to do to get opportunities. And again, like the character part and the promos, that didn't come until later on.
When it comes to obviously breaking into wrestling, we've talked to a lot of different people, and it's hard in the beginning to get bookings and
Hmm.
to find your way onto a card. Did you find that to be the same way after training? And if so, what were some of the things that you did that kind of allowed you to get spotlighted and allowed promoters to make sure that they take a look at you?
I mean, I would just try to get on any show that I could. Like when I first started, like maybe like the first couple years, I didn't even wrestle a lot because like I just wasn't getting booked. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. It just wasn't happening. Like it wasn't until I got into CZW that I started wrestling more regularly. Before that, I'd be wrestling here and there. You know what I'm saying? It would be times where like I would wrestle like let's say in January, then I wouldn't wrestle again until like April, then again not until like July. You know what I'm saying? It was just like scattered around for a while, for a couple of years until I got into CZW. So it was really rough in the beginning. I was just trying to get in wherever I could.
Talk to us about the early days in your career in CZW. What was that like? What were some of the expectations when you were coming in there, and what were some of the guys that you worked with at the time?
When I first came in, I pretty much started from the bottom, like opening match stuff like that. I started in CCW. It was like how guys get trained out of school, and then you know what I'm saying they start on student shows and then starting opening matches. That's how it was for me at CCW. I'd be in like the opening matches. It was to the point where people assumed that I got trained at CCW, but I didn't. But I started from the bottom and just worked my way up. I was just booked against other guys that didn't really have a lot of experience. Like I was wrestling like guys that were CCW students, and you know what I'm saying. And then um, as we kept going on and on, that's when I started working with like the guys that had more experience. And then like once Blackout started, you know what I'm saying, we were pretty much working with all of the top guys because that was an act that caught on. You know what I'm saying. So the company really pushed us. You know.
Now CZW at the time that was still run by John Zandig, correct?
Yeah, Zandig. Yep.
What was your take on John, and what kind of relationship did you have with him? What was your thoughts on him and his vision of what he wanted CZW to be?
John was he was really intimidating in the beginning. Like I was scared of him. And I just wanted to impress him. I just wanted to impress him so that I could keep getting opportunities. You know what I mean? And for the longest time, we didn't have a close relationship. It was just like he was my boss and I was wrestling there. It wasn't until years later when it was a time when me and Joker left CZW to go to PWU. And then when we came back to CZW, when that happened, that's when I'd say the relationship with Zandig got closer. Then I was more comfortable around him. You know what I mean? And he wasn't intimidating anymore. It was just like he was John. You know what I mean? So yeah, at first it was intimidating, but then after a while, comfortable.
Wrestling on the indies is definitely something that a lot of wrestlers do. I mean, obviously nowadays we've seen people who have been wrestling for a few years. They get a shot at national TV, but there's a lot of people who pay their dues and they've been, journeymen, and they've done a lot of things and they've got a lot of great experience. Was there anybody who you would say who gave you some great wisdom or some advice early on in your career? Was there anyone that took a liking to you?
Yeah, a lot of the old heads that I was around when I started. I'm talking guys like O-Dog, Ron Starr, Charles Gregory. Charles Gregory was in a tag team called Crash Crew in the late 90s and early 2000s. Flex Wheeler. There was a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying? And then once I got in CZW, John Dahmer was a really big influence. As a matter of fact, like the whole CZW locker room, like when we got to CZW, it was at a time where you had to earn the respect, and like if you came in there working hard, guys would look out for you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what Zandig saw. That's what guys like Trent Acid, Nick Burke, and Adam Flash. You know what I'm saying? Messiah, B-Boy, all of the guys that were on top, Nick Gage, and you know what I mean? Like all of the top guys, they saw that we wanted to come in, we wanted to earn it, so they were there for us. They looked out for us. You know what I mean? And I think that's how it is. If you show that you want to do it and you have heart and you have passion, guys will look out for you. But if you come in half-assing it, they're not going to look out for you, you know?
A lot of people will say, and I think it's been publicized a lot, CZW was kind of an extension. And I think John Zandig would agree with us. It was what ECW, the mantra that ECW was, but yet taken to the next level. Would you agree with that?
Mm-hmm. I do, yeah, definitely. Because I think Zandig was a big ECW mark. I think he was, you know what I mean. So when CZW started, like his vision was to make it like crazier and better than ECW. You know what I'm saying? So it was like every show, guys had to step their game up. You know what I'm saying? It was more blood, more violence. You know what I'm saying? And it worked. You know what I'm saying? That was CZW's big selling point, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? His vision definitely worked, because there was a time where CZW was the place on the East Coast. Everybody wanted to be in CZW, you know? And like we was running that ECW arena every month. Everybody wanted to be in CZW, you know?
I always get this butchered and I always get this wrong. And Ritt, please jump in here. The tournament of death.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that traditionally held? And it was on a farm, and for whatever reason, it keeps escaping my mind.
Wasn't that in Delaware?
Yeah, it was always in Delaware. The early ones, I can't even remember the location, but it was always in Delaware. Like in later years, it was at DJ's parents' house. You know what I mean? But before that, it was just always at a location in Delaware.
And I think it was a situation of like with the athletic commission when it came to what the show was going to be about. What's your thought?
I say Pennsylvania does not allow nothing like that.
Nah, you can forget about doing that in New Jersey also. You know, so like Delaware was the only place that they could get away with doing all the stuff that they wanted to do.
What's your thoughts on those types of cards or those types of events? Do you think that it's a good idea still in this day and age, or do you think that done sparingly, it can definitely have its effects, but sometimes the blood and the gore may become overkill at a certain point?
I mean, I'm not a fan of doing it. You know what I mean? I mean, there's definitely a market for it. There's an audience for it. So I can't say that it's overdone because you know what I mean? Like fans still love it. So if fans are still loving it, fans are still paying for it, it's still gonna happen. I don't have a problem with it. I don't I used to enjoy watching it, you know what I mean? But it's like now, like I've seen so much like being in CZW, I've seen them do so much that it's like if I'm gonna watch it, it would have to be like a couple of people that like I enjoy watching, you know what I mean? So aside from that, I don't, you know what I'm saying, I don't go out of my way to watch it, you know.
If you were to label yourself, and a lot of wrestlers don't like to necessarily label themselves as one specific style or one specific way that they work, well, how would you describe the way that you work?
I would just say adaptable. Like I can wrestle any style. Like I've dabbled in like hardcore, deathmatch, whatever you want to call it. I've dabbled in it. It's not my thing, you know what I mean? But like any type of match that there is, I can adapt to it and make it work. So I would just say adaptable. I would say, I guess hybrid would be the word to use. You know what I mean? But yeah, I can do any style.
Let's kind of jump into NWA here. Obviously, it's a extremely well-known promotion. A lot of people tune in and watch it, and they got a great following right now. How did the whole opportunity with NWA come about, and what was the kind of the genesis of that whole transformation from you going there?
Homicide was a big influence on that happening. Homicide is an agent there, a wrestler and agent there. You know what I mean? So and like with Homicide is someone that's mentored me for years. He's mentored generations of wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like the godfather of the East Coast, bro. So it's like he looked out for me. You know what I mean? He put a word in, and also Pat Kenny, who's vice president there. I met Pat Kenny, Simon Diamond. I met him years ago in TNA, and he was always good to me. You know what I mean? And he was trying to get TNA to sign me at that time, but it didn't happen. You know what I mean? So it was like once Pat got in the position that he was in, you know what I'm saying, he looked out for me. He reached out, let me know of the dates, asked me if I was interested. I said definitely. So then I got on, and then we made it work. You know what I mean? And like I'm enjoying it, man. Like I couldn't ask for more because like being in a company that has a TV presence, that was the one thing that escaped me. You know what I'm saying? I accomplished like the one thing that I wanted to do was go to Japan. I did that, and like everything else was a blessing. But like I was saying, like being in a company with a TV presence, that escaped me. You know what I'm saying? And there was a point where I wasn't sure if it was going to happen. I wasn't going to stop doing it because I wasn't ready to hang it up. But this opportunity with NWA came at the perfect time because like I was just like getting like really, really motivated again before it happened. You know what I'm saying? And then the opportunity came, and I'm like, man, it's the perfect time. It's time to work now. You know what I mean? So went to NWA, did my thing, and things are working out.
We often find out when we talk to wrestlers, you know, a big reason why people either stay in a company or gravitate towards coming to a company is the philosophy of the company, who's leading the ship, and the locker room itself. Talk a little bit about what the locker room is like with NWA, because from a fan's perspective, it seems like everybody's actually having a lot of fun.
Yep, definitely. It's a positive locker room. It's a positive atmosphere. Like on the indies, there's some locker rooms where it's positive, it's fun. Everybody is there for the same goal. But then there's those places where it's a toxic environment. There's like it's real cliquey. You know what I mean? Like guys over here, guys over there. It's a lot of politics being played. That's not how it is at NWA, man. It's positive. Everybody is there to help each other. Everybody has the same goal. And another thing is, it's like talent is what's the word I'm looking for? They're very open on talent expressing themselves the way they want to. Like there isn't any scripts. You know what I'm saying? When you cutting promos, you have bullet points. You know, there's a point to it, but you use your own voice. You know what I'm saying? You're not handcuffed. You know what I mean? And that's and that's very positive for artists. You know what I'm saying? We like to be able to be creative and innovative, and NWA is an atmosphere that influences that. And you know what I'm saying? It's a great fit because you got you got guys that been to the top company in the world, and you have people that's been on the indies for a long time, like myself. You have people that are trying to get experience. So it's a mix of people with different experience levels, and everybody helps each other to make the product what it is.
A good friend of the show and somebody we've had the privilege to get to speak with is the Pope. And from everything that I've gotten to know, and the great thing is, you know, they say never meet your heroes, right? Because they're going to let you down. But yet then there's people that you meet that far exceed what you would ever expect. And he is a gentleman, and he's a great human being, and he cares about wrestling. He's got the total package. Tell me a little bit about some interactions you've had in working with the Pope himself. What's that like working with him?
Pope is a good dude, man. Like he's another one. Like he has like so much experience, and he's been in the top company in the world. You know what I'm saying? He's made it. You know what I'm saying? So he's the type that he gives back. You know what I mean? It's like I've had nothing but positive interactions with him. You know what I mean? It's like, and it's real cool too because like I've over the years I've met people that I've idolized growing up, and you know what I'm saying, it was a bad interaction. You know what I'm saying? I've met people that I idolized, and it was good interactions. But like what I can say about Pope is a good dude, man, and he looks out, man. He's and he loves wrestling, man. You know what I mean? So nothing but positive things about the Pope. He's a really good dude, man.
Yeah, he's got a great organization where he gives back to Jacksonville.
Yep.
And it's so cool to see just the way his eyes light up when he talks about, hey, giving back and remember to pay it forward. And he's always expressing those types of things because you never know when the situation can be flipped and you can be on the other side. And he says, I remind myself of that every single day. And I think it's the humility that just comes with maturity. You know what I mean? A wiseness that comes with time that the Pope brings. And I feel like he would be an amazing agent, amazing coach, someone backstage with a big role. I think he'd be perfect for that.
Definitely. He's smart, man. And like his timing is on. Like everything the dude does is like this. And like, you can't help but learn being around guys like that. You know what I mean? Like in the past, I've had like you know, like a couple brushes with TV or whatever, but with NWA, this is the longest that I've been in a TV environment, and like I love it because I'm learning from these guys that have so much experience. Like I'm learning just being around them, and then getting to like sit under their learning tree. You know what I mean? It's making wrestling fun again. Like I said, like my motivation started kicking in before I got there, but since I've been there, it's like the motivation is crazy. Like I feel like I can do anything. I feel like I can walk in any company and just like take off. But you know what I'm saying? NWA is my top priority. You know what I mean? So things are good, bro. Can't complain.
I remember a time when people said that adding another wrestling promotion into the mix probably wasn't going to work. But Billy Corgan said, you know what, I think it can, and I think it will. Any interactions with Billy as far as that? I mean, as far at the tapings or the TVs or anything like that, have you had?
Yeah, all the time, man. And he's very approachable, very open to ideas. Like there's times where so there was this one time at tapings in St. Louis, we were out there cutting a promo and whatever, right? So then with in the promo work, the promo is money, man. And when we came to the back, Billy was all excited, you know what I'm saying? And like Billy, based on like stuff that we were saying in the promo, Billy came up with like a really great idea. Just you know what I mean? So it's like he watches, he pays attention, and he's very he's he's all about making the product as strong as it can, and he's one of the people that's really like open to like talent expressing themselves using their own voice, man. He's a great boss to have, and he knows his wrestling. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times, people that are like from a different part of entertainment, they'll come into wrestling, and you know what I'm saying, a lot and they might not know about wrestling. You know what I mean? This might just be like a hobby, but for him, he's all about it. He knows his history. You know what I'm saying? And that's good. You know.
Well, I also think you touched on a really good point. When somebody comes in with a pair of fresh eyes from a different part of the entertainment industry, and they're able to look at it a little bit differently, instead of working for a company who hands you a 20-page script and says, "Hey, you need to do X, Y, and Z," and it becomes less of who you are and more of what they want you to
Right.
be. And in a lot of ways, that kind of strips, almost your soul, as far as being a performer,
Right.
because that's a big part of who you are, is being able to say the words that your character would say.
Right.
How hard is it to come up with a promo? Let me ask you this. You've been doing it a long time. It looks like it's effortless on TV, but I'm sure that there's a lot more that goes into it than meets the eye.
I mean, it is, but it's like when I first started, like I said, I was scared. I was scared of the microphone. I was scared of it. I just wanted to do moves and be loved for moves. But then, like as time went on, I was just like, man, the people that are the people like the the stars are the ones that have a character that's relatable, that's believable. The people that make money are people that know how to talk. You know what I'm saying? So then I just dove headfirst into learning how to cut a promo. You know what I'm saying? Cause like the people that I idolize, a lot of them were like great talkers. You know what I'm saying? Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, Rick Rude. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the stars. They were stars, and it's because they knew how to talk. You know what I'm saying? So as far as like promos, I always have ideas. Like there's times where I might be stumped a little bit, but not for long. You know what I mean? For the most part, I'm able to just like think of stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? And it's I don't know, man. It's like promos is like promos is my shit. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't know. When it's time to cut promos, I get even more excited than going out there to wrestle at this point. You know, because like
It's
that's like it's all about entertainment. You know, so
Yes. But it's one of those things that it's the cherry on top of the sundae, meaning you can get it
mhm.
done in the ring, but man, when you can grab that microphone and you can
Yep.
just literally just reach through that screen and say what you need to say, it accentuates everything else that you put into your product, and it's like, man, that's like the finished touch. And I feel like a lot of people in today's wrestling, I think you'd agree, they struggle with that, because I think if they're
Mhm.
not given a script, some of the people in other companies, they don't know what to do. They're not able to think on their feet. Would you agree with that?
Right. Yeah, I agree, and it's because I think some of them they're so talented with the wrestling part that they might be a little bit scared of the promo and the character part. I know because I used to be that way. You know what I mean? But like what we're doing is we're creating moments, and then the audience is going to understand things that are said more so than the moves. Like the audience, they're not out there doing those moves. You know what I mean? So they're going to be able to relate to the talking. You know what I'm saying? They like the things you say, like that's going to get a better reaction than all of these dives and 450s and 630s and all that. You know what I mean? So it's like being able to talk, being able to put words together, that's where the money is at. You know, the wrestling part is important, but the character aspect is most important.
Who would you say was a big contributor and a big influence on helping you develop a character? Or was that something that was just something you always kind of had inside of you? You were like, okay, I get my shot. This is what I want to do. Or was there somebody who said, you know what, you might want to try this or that, or I really think this would fit you?
No, I always had it in me, but I was just scared to bring it out. But then once I started getting comfortable with talking, that's when I was able to like gradually bring it out. And another thing that helped me being around Robbie Marino and Eddie Kingston in the blackout days, that helped me also because those two were like this. Give them the mic and they're
Yes.
like this. So if you're around them all the time, you can't help but learn. You know what I mean? So it's like that 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 was definitely a big part of pointing me in the direction of learning and understanding how to talk. You know what I mean? And then it's like the character is just my personality amplified, along with like uh little stuff here and there that I steal and make it my own. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's easy for me. It's easy to like portray the character that I want to portray. It's easy to go out there and get the audience to hate me or get them to love me. You know what I'm saying? It's fun doing it.
Greg Valentine had given an interview, and he had mentioned before that he said, I didn't really necessarily like the aspects that pro wrestling was. I always wanted to look at it and portray it as a real fight. I wanted to
Hmm.
lay it in. I wanted people to really believe that these were two people that had animosity with one another and who really wanted to go toe to toe with each other. And I'm so glad you brought up Eddie Kingston as well, because he personifies that as well. He's one of those people, Santana and Ortiz, they personify that.
Hmm.
There's something about, there's a handful of people that when they grab the mic, it's authentic. There is no
Right.
BS involved. I feel like so much of their life experiences as well have a lot to do with it. But it's just, I think those are the people who really connect with the fans. Would you agree?
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's definitely all about life experience and stuff. Everything that you went through, the environment that you came from, and you just pretty much put it out and you just use your voice to express it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and those are guys that I understand because, like, all of us, all of the guys that you mentioned, we all pretty much come from the same type of environment. You know what I mean? So that's why it comes across authentic. That's why, like, when like guys like myself and the guys that you mentioned, when they're cutting promos, there's other wrestlers that'll get a little shook. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't, you know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand it. Like they might be thinking like, damn, is he for real or is he work? You know what I mean? So it's definitely all about your life experiences and just putting it out there authentically and just in real. You know, a lot of people run from the realness, man.
No, they do. Absolutely, you're right. And I love it when the lines are blurred, but it's blurred genuinely. And it's a situation where you can definitely tell the person is speaking from the heart. Um,
Hmm.
NWA has been amazing for you so far. Are you still obviously taking bookings elsewhere as well in between those things, or are you predominantly just sticking with NWA?
No, I'm taking other bookings as well. I am definitely. You know what I mean? Because because like now, like I said, the motivation is really high, and it's like these indies that I do, I love doing them because like now I'm at a point where um I can help younger guys. You know what I mean? Like my experience, I have that experience to pass on. You know what I'm saying? If I see people that have that have that talent, that you know what I mean, I pull them aside and you know what I'm saying, give them a little advice. And you know, man, it's real cool that these younger cats they come up to me, ask me to watch their matches. You know what I'm saying? Ask me to critique it. What can I do better? Um, I like your poems, man. Can you help me? So I love being in a position where guys actually want my help. You know what I mean? I love that now. I used to run from I used to sort of run from it because like there's been times over the years where I'll pass on my knowledge to people and it go in one ear and out the other, and it's kind of frustrating. You know what I mean? And but now it's like people are actually showing that love, showing that respect, and I appreciate it, and I love giving back. You know what I'm saying?
I think whenever you do decide that you're done wrestling, I think Billy would be a very wise man to make you an integral part of the company to help all of the young upcoming stars. Once again, keep it in house. I think that's the biggest
Hmm.
thing that I've noticed that sometimes promoters don't do is that, you know, when someone decides they're done with wrestling, keep them, utilize them still, because there
Right.
is so much more that they still have to offer.
Yeah, definitely. And as far as that goes, like watching how Homicide navigates being an agent, that also opened my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like we pretty much came from the same world, the same environment. You know what I'm saying? Like seeing someone that like when I came in, I idolized, and you know what I'm saying, was mentored by, and now we're colleagues. You know what I mean? It's like watching him do it. I'm like, man, I can do it too. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm definitely open to like other jobs when I hang up the boots, backstage stuff, being an agent, a coach, you know what I'm saying, producer, whatever it is. I'm definitely open to that now, where in the past I wasn't really open to it. I just wanted to be a performer and that was it. You know what I'm saying? But those other backstage jobs, they're very important because it's like you have to have generals in a position to further the business to help these younger guys, you know what I'm saying? And like I'm able to I'm able to adapt to anyone. So it's like people from different, like I can adapt to anyone. So it's like I know that anybody out there that needs help, I can help them, and it's real fulfilling helping people. Like when you helping someone and you see the light go off, you know what I mean, and they start getting better, you know what I mean. It's a great feeling.
I'm just to let you know, I'm a school teacher and I teach more of an inner city, lower socioeconomic. And with the beauty of what I get to do every single day is I get to impact people's lives
Hmm.
and I get to help them see things and I get to help them realize that there is so much that they can do. And you're right. Just take a student in that situation or take a younger wrestler. When you're able to help instill that confidence in them and that self-esteem, and you're able to all of a sudden see that light go off, like
Yeah.
it's very, very rewarding. Like you may not have many life experiences outside of a birth of a child or something like that. That gives you that feeling of, wow, like I really had a big monumental impact on this person.
Yeah, and one thing about like having positions of authority, like it was always weird to me when like people are in a position like maybe they're like maybe they recruiting talent for a company or whatever, right? They're the person that are being contacted by people that want opportunities. It's a very important job. It's a job that comes with trust, and people are contacting them all the time. Instead of them getting back to everyone and being honest with them, they'll just not get back to them. I never understood it. And to me, if you can't, like, if you're in that position because you're trusted and you should obviously be able to multitask, but you abuse that power. You know what I'm saying? People are looking to you to get opportunities and you can make that happen for them. But instead of doing it, you know what I mean? You ignore them. You just tell them some BS. You're not honest with them. That's always been weird to me, and it's a clown move. If I'm in that position, I'm going to help everyone. I'm going to be honest with everyone. Like, you know what I'm saying? And being honest, you're going to tell people stuff that they don't want to hear. You know what I mean? But at least you're being honest, and along with telling them this stuff, you tell them and show them what to do to get better at it so that they can get opportunities in the future. You know what I mean? That's the key to it. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's the one thing in wrestling that really bugs me when people are in this position of power and they abuse it. It's like, it's pointless to have that position if you can't multitask. There's like no such thing as too busy. If you're too busy, you're in the wrong business. You know what I mean? Because as you get that experience and that knowledge, you're going to be wearing different hats. You're going to be expected to do more and more. And if you can't handle it, get out, you know?
You and O'Shea Edwards are cut from the same cloth, and it's one of those things that makes talking to wrestlers who have walked roads and they're seasoned and they know things, but most importantly
Hmm.
is how they want to help people. And I think
Right.
would you also agree that in some companies before, you have seen or maybe you've heard of so many people worried about losing their spot, and they will
Hmm.
literally do anything and everything to maybe not just prevent somebody from reaching the next level, but even sometimes, let's be honest, sabotage, or
Yep.
maybe put something, a bug in someone's ear that's not even true, just so they can
Hmm.
protect their own spot or own ego.
That definitely exists because I've experienced it multiple times over the years. Like it's something that's like halted my career at times because someone might have an issue with me and they obviously don't want me to be in the company they're in. So they'll put a bug in somebody's ear about me not being the right person or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I know these things because like people talk. You know what I mean? And it's
It
like
gets around.
it's definitely yep, it's definitely something that has happened. There's guys that'll be in a match with you, and because they don't want you to have a spot, they'll try to sabotage the match. Like that's happened. You know what I mean? It's like so much like clown stuff in this game that happens that shouldn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like if you worried about your spot, it wasn't your spot. Like if you worried, step your game up. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have a spot somewhere and there's somebody breathing down my neck, that's competition. That means I got to step my game up. And you know what I'm saying? And it's just you just got to stay sharp. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on your toes. But you should never play politics. You should never keep somebody out of a place. You know what I'm saying? That's pointless. You know, it's pointless. There's enough. There's enough. Like to me, there's enough spots for everyone that's talented enough. You know what I'm saying? There's enough money to go around for people that's talented enough to get it. To hold somebody back from getting it is ridiculous.
No, I couldn't have said it better. It's a situation that has plagued wrestling for a long time, and I'm sure it'll still play a role
Hmm.
for years to come. It's the politics game. And talking to Mikey and Jerry, they both have told me before. Um, Jerry Lynn told me, he says, I guess I was never good at it. I never really wanted to get involved in it because it was just not who I am. And I've heard some other wrestlers tell me, you know what, that's the part that really bothers me the most is that I'm not that person. I can't put on this
Right.
mask and pretend that I'm this politician when it's not really truly in me. And that sucks because it should
Yeah.
be, the people who are talented should get opportunities, but it's a cutthroat world. And that's just the way business is. That's the way life is. But it does. It absolutely sucks when people who have the abilities to help somebody shine or raise them
Hmm.
to the next level to help the company chooses not to.
Yeah. Wrestling is definitely an environment where being honest and being honest can like hinder your career. You know what I'm saying? Speaking up for yourself and speaking up for the boys that can hinder your career too. You know what I mean? And it's that's backwards to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you should want people that speak up for themselves and the boys. You know what I'm saying? You should want people that are honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you gaining from just lying and manipulating people all day? It's pointless. It's exhausting. You know.
We're in January, obviously we're past the halfway point. What are some things, if we were to even refer to them as New Year's resolutions, what are some things that you would like to happen in the upcoming year? Is there anything that when the holidays are rolling around, you sit and you think, well, okay, this year I really would like to do this? Or are there any 2022 bucket things you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'd like to make millions of dollars. I think we all. I think we all would. But as far as wrestling goes, I want to continue furthering myself in NWA. I want to continue doing my part and making this product great. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things I want to do in the wrestling world, man, and I think that I'm in a position where I think all these things that I want to happen are going to happen. You know what I mean? Because I'm positive about it and working towards it. You know what I'm saying? And I just think like everything that I want to accomplish is going to happen. You know?
All right, I got a couple of questions here for you. So the Ritster usually has a question. I think he's having some technical issues. He just messaged me, but it's called the Hot Tub Time Machine. So we're going to put you in a situation. You can go back in time, anytime,
Uh-huh.
any generation, decade, anything. Find a match, okay? You can take one person out of that match, put yourself in that match. What is that match, and why did you pick it?
Wow. I would say I mean
It's a toughie.
it is cause cause right away I just think about like '90s New Japan Junior Heavyweight stuff, like anything where it could be me versus Jushin Liger, me
Ooh,
versus Shinjiro Otani. You know what I'm saying? Anything with me versus Eddie Guerrero, or me versus Eddie when he was Black Tiger, like anything with me versus Owen Hart. I mean, it's really tough, man. It would like it would just be any match where it's me versus one of the many people that I've been influenced by over the years. Like, so I
yeah.
can't really pick just one.
We will go with that. But all those people you named are amazing. We will completely go with that. I also want to get your professional opinion on this. Who's somebody that wrestling fans should keep an eye out in 2022? Somebody who, you know what, look out for this person because they are definitely making waves. Who would you say is on your radar right now to keep an eye on in 2022?
Masha Slamovich. Like she's money, and who else? Let me see. Amber Rodriguez. Let me see.
We've heard a
Oh,
lot
well,
of
I'm
people
drawing a
say
blank.
they're big fans of Darius Carter as well.
Darius Carter, definitely. Why Darius Carter? Like Darius Carter would definitely fit in NWA. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Darius Carter would fit in any company. This guy is money. He's a money character. He's money on the mic. I think Darius Carter is another one that people are scared of him because he's so talented on
Yes.
promos and character because he's so authentic.
Yep.
So and I know because I've experienced it, and someone like Darius, like I could see people you know what I'm saying, trying to hold him out of companies because of his talent.
Oh,
And
sure.
again, that's backwards. And that's backwards. Like, why would you do that? You want someone like that in your company because you can make money with them. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely Darius Carter. Another one is Darius Lockhart. He's a really
Yes.
talented brother. You know what I mean? Let me see. Let me see. Who else? Who else? I know as soon as we finish up, like a bunch of names are going to come
You're
to
just gonna be
mind.
like, oh, that
Yeah,
person. That. Yep.
yeah, yeah, exactly, man. But yeah, but definitely, just to recap what I said: Masha Slamovich, Amber Rodriguez, Darius Carter, Darius Lockhart. Um, trying to think of one more. Um, I'm drawing a blank. You know what I mean?
I think a person who I think is going to do. I mean, they're already a star, and I think this year is going to be huge for them. Is going to be Jonathan Gresham. I think he's
Well, yeah,
the
yeah. Obviously, like I was trying to think of people
of a new up and
that are
comer.
you. Yeah, but definitely Gresham, bro. Like that Gresham has all the tools, man. And you know what I'm saying? And great wrestler. And he can talk too. You know what I mean? Like for a while, maybe talking wasn't his strength, you know what I mean? But he definitely knows how to talk. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely on point with everything. He's a total package now.
So many things that we can talk about. Is there any chance that we could twist your arm to come back and do a part two? I would love to pick your brain on more aspects about your career and the wrestling business itself.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to. Definitely.
Well, I tell you what, it is Plug-O-Mania time, which means this is the time of the show where let people know where you're going to be at. Obviously, talk about where people can find your merchandise, all of that kind of stuff, social media, where they can follow you. The floor is yours.
All right, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, so Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, everything is G's215. That's JEEZ215. I have a pro wrestling tee store. I just made it. I'm slacking on getting the t-shirts up there, but I'm gonna have them up there definitely in the next couple of weeks. I got this Sunday I have Pro Wrestling R and in New Jersey. Um, I have February the 12th, NWA is coming to Oak Grove, Kentucky.
Nice.
Um, March 5th, I have On Point Wrestling in New Jersey. March 12th, I have NEW Wrestling in Queens. And then I believe we have some NWA tapings also in March. Everything as far as like schedule, upcoming merch, all of that you can see on my socials, Twitter, Instagram, which again is G's215. For bookings, hit me up at my email, theblackgs@gmail.com. That's also available on my Twitter and my Instagram. And again, bro, I appreciate you for having me, and I look forward to doing part 2.
Absolutely. Guys, please follow him. If you're a promoter, hurry up and get your dates in now because they're going to fill up fast. And you don't want to be one of those promotions that says, man, I would love to have a talent like this. And all of a sudden the dates are gone. Follow him on social media. All you got to do is hit that follow button. Make sure that you show your love. And once again, always go out and show love for NWA, one of the best promotions that's out there right now. I fully endorse it 100%. And you know what? It has been a privilege and an honor to talk to you, my friend, and we'll definitely talk to you down the road.
Thanks again, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
You got it. Have a great night.
You too. Thank you.
All right, guys. This has been a great episode of For Our Own Material tonight. We had great guests. I mean, I cannot even begin to tell you the church's money is money. Love that guy. O'Shea Edwards, love that guy. We also have coming up this Friday on the For Our Own Material brand, we're going to have a great interview, a great interview with Steve Pena. So please, by all means, don't forget, check us out on Friday. That will be when the show airs on our Twitch page, and we will also release the audio version. Man, so many things going on. I really love doing these interviews with wrestlers. We get to find out more about them, and we get to find out about the psychology that goes into wrestling. We get to find out the business aspect of it. We get to find out the aspects of the creativity. And it's not just, hey, you wrestled this person. We go a little bit deeper than that. And I love this. I geek out with stuff like this. And we hope you do as well. It's a different side of wrestling, and it may be not everyone's cup of tea sometimes, but I love talking analytics, and I love getting deep down the rabbit hole with this. Please, by all means, follow the Ritt, follow Front Row Material, follow everybody who's part of our panel. And once again, I apologize for not having a panel this week, but follow the Butt, follow Liam Savage, follow Anton Heidnick, follow Moondog Murray, follow our guy from the NWO, Mike Cook. Please follow everyone associated who helps us out and makes this brand what it is today. Because remember, without you guys, it's just a bunch of friends sitting around talking about wrestling. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking. I'm parched. I got my Golden Girls cup right here, Betty. Miss you, Betty. Love you. But my girls are reunited in heaven again. For everybody here at Front Row Material, once again, I am Mike Freland. We enjoyed it. We'll catch you next week.